Hello, chess people. I am just terribly late at my civic duty of giving you the breakdown of our lovely weekly Swiss events. So, this tournament was the first of the new year, and we're going to go over it. We have a game between Falcon 8000 with the white pieces, who you have seen half a dozen times perhaps, and William Athens with the black pieces. Two very strong players. Very strong indeed. And man, what a solid game we have here. Let's take a look at what we have here. E4, C5, the Sicilian defense. These two love the Sicilian defense. Just grabbing a sip of my non-alcoholic beverage because sobriety is cool. Outstanding. Knight F3 and E6. Okay, this is an option. This is an option. D4 right away, striking at the center. Takes, takes. Now, we're in the Taimanov variation of the Sicilian defense. Let's see where we go from here. Bishop E2. Interesting. Very interesting. Generally, we see, knight C6, knight C3 from white, but this works too. Okay, knight comes out, attacking the pawn. Now our knight comes out, knight C3, defending the pawn. Very simple. And in comes the bishop, attacking the knight, which defends the pawn. So white is thinking along these lines, and he plays first, knight takes knight, and then F3. Notice when he takes the knight, he gives black yet another pawn towards the center there. That may be double-edged, but what's the concern with this pawn? Well, he's concerned if he castles here. We'll see takes, takes, and then takes. That's the concern, at least. But I think after this, I think he's okay, really, because now we have this move, queen d4. And you might say, okay, well, he's just up a pawn. But now white gets a ton of initiative and development, and black's not castling anytime soon, right? It's very annoying. Very annoying indeed. So this is a possibility, but he doesn't want to lose a center pawn. I understand that. He doesn't want the doubled pawns. I understand that, right? So let's go back. Okay. D5, castles. Outstanding. Lovely triangle here. God, I just love triangles, don't you? Chess is full of them. Okay. Unfortunately, we have the doubled pawns anyways for white. And A5, very interesting move here. I wonder what black is thinking. Grabbing control of B4 perhaps, but well, there's no B pawn to push. So I'm very curious what he was thinking. Perhaps he wants to trade the bishops this way. I don't know. In any way, castling would have been a good idea before white can get this really annoying move in. Let's see how white responds. Taking in the center. And I was surprised here. Instead of taking with the c pawn, took with the d pawn. I probably would have taken with the c pawn. This seems fine, but then again, this is a little annoying. Although, really, not the end of the world. But personal preference wins the day, anyways. This pawn may be weak in the future. And instead of the useful a3 square, bishop g5 by Falcon. Out comes the queen, defending while not being pinned to this uncomfortable situation. And finally, castles. So, both kings are relatively safe. We do have these dark square weaknesses, however, no dark squared bishop for black. White has the bishop pair. Doubled pawns, true, but open b file. I guess they both have an open b file. There's things to say about each position, right? Super grandmaster move here. King h1, wanting to sidestep any nonsense. Queen c5, picking up the pawn, for instance. Nice, man. I got you. Okay. Queen goes up, connecting the rooks, defending this bishop that was just attacked. Remember, we got to understand what's going on here. That's why the queen moved there, folks. That's why. Okay, out comes the bishop. Finally, bishop leaves its starting square, and finally, it's active, but unfortunately, soon it will be traded off. More liquidation. The pawns are undoubled. So we've got a fairly equal position here. We got a pawn here, 2 pawns here, right? It looks pretty equal. White can double, perhaps triple, if he's feeling froggy, right? This is going to be a very tough fight with a lot of tactics. Okay, let's take a look. Black grabs the open B file, very nice. And white doubles. Logical. Black says, okay, I don't like my king being behind closed doors. I want to open up an escape square. Very smart, especially when white has 18 rooks lining up on the E file. Terrifying. So I understand. And white creates some space as well, although we are weakening this G3 square. Pushing the pawn, perhaps grabbing more space, and this square, if this pawn ever comes up, this square will be very useful to take control of white's space. What do you know? Speak of the devil. He's interested in this second rank. Very, very smart. So now this could become a home for a rook, perhaps have some nonsense here with the rook and the queen. Very scary indeed. Queen up to D3, hoping to gain access to other parts of the board. And as discussed, in comes the rook. This is hanging, folks. This is hanging. Let's see how white deals with it. Very smart. Okay, doubles up. So he says, all right, if you take my rook, I'm just going to replace it. And since the king has room, this doesn't concern us, right? Okay. C4. Finally pushing that backwards pawn, hoping to gain something out of it. And the queen just hides on F4. Alright, 3 pawn falls, and all of a sudden this rook outpost is looking a little shakier, and Falcon has gone up a pawn. Very decisive in a game like this. Now let's see what black has in store. Queen takes D4. D4, very important pawn to take. However, given the situation, this is a game-ending mistake, and I think you can find out why. I want you to try and figure that out. It looks like a victory. It looks like, oh, we traded pawns. He dropped a center pawn. I'm better off. But no, this is a very devastating turn of events here. So let's see if you can figure out why. Maybe pause the video, take a bite of a salty snack, take a sip of your tasty beverage, and think, why is this so devastating? What's going on here? Okay, hopefully you paused. The reason is white has some good moves here. First good move is pretty simple. Rook takes b2. Why is that such a good move? Well, the king is very unsafe, right? King is very unsafe. Okay, once this king comes up here, we have devastating vision on the f8 square. And there's going to be a mate here in about 6 moves or so, 8 moves. Okay, second reason. That's the harder one to spot. I think this one's easier to spot. This is the one Falcon finds. Rook e8 check. What to do? What to do? King goes up. We have the same deal as before, leading to an eventual mate, right? A king hunt. And if the rook takes, we simply replace it. And now this should look familiar because, well, we're here. Now pause again, and you might be thinking, okay, why are you saying this is lost? Like, okay, this is equal material. You're being ridiculous. Pause and figure out why it's lost for black. Salty snack, tasty beverage, chess. Take some deep breaths. Admire my Texas record in the back there with patriotic Texan songs. Take a minute. All right, hopefully you're adept at spotting tactics and you see this here nonsense. This is heartbreaking. This is just pure heartbreak. Falcon has this excellent move. Boom. And with that, resignation. Why? Well, once the king moves, the queen falls. And wow, what an incredible move. What an incredible idea. And I bet you he spotted the symmetry in this position all the way back here. All the way back here. Forcing move, right? Forcing move. Forcing move. And now, very simple to spot this tactic. Boom. Ouch. It just hurts to look at, to be honest. But it was an even game until it wasn't, right? So Falcon will receive yet another 1-month Diamond membership. And I think it's an excellent time to mention my Patreon supporters, Jeremy Lovelace, Susan Guerrero, and Isaac Moyer. Thank you so much for your support. If you would like to become a Patreon supporter, you can do it for as little as $3. You can take a look at the description, and you can support all of the fantastic chess events I do through town, and you can support a ton of people learning chess. So, hopefully you can. If you can't, I totally understand. Watch the stream, watch the videos, have a good time, play with us on chess.com, and of course, keep calm and chess on. Take care.